Hello fancy managers, and welcome to another video from myself, Will, and fantasyfootballhub.co.uk. We've got lots to go over this week. We're going to be having a look at budget forwards, especially Wilson. We're going to be having a look at whether we should be selling KDB. We're going to be having a look at Agero versus Abama and whether we should be shifting out Salah. I'm also super excited to announce that our crowdfunding campaign is live. We've had loads of interest in this, loads of people pre-registering, and loads of really good questions. So I'm super excited, and I'm hoping that the shares are going to go really quickly, and I want them to go to you, our followers. So please stick around for the end of the video because I'll show you our short crowdfunding campaign video. But now let's get to those questions. Okay, question there from one of our members who's actually in our crowdfunding campaign video later. He's got a short testimonial. So would love to hear your thoughts on budget forwards, especially interested in Wilson as he has 3 nice fixtures. So here is a comparison of Wilson versus Pukki for the whole season. And as you can see there isn't much argument for saying that you should bring Wilson in. They both got pretty decent fixtures. I really like Wilson's next 3 fixtures, actually. Arsenal, Norwich and Watford. I think those are some of the worst defences in the league. So I think he's got fantastic next 3 fixtures. So I can understand why Alex is asking the question. So an initial glance, I wouldn't recommend transferring in Wilson. However, if you look a little bit more deeper into the data and you actually look at the last 3 game weeks, Wilson's stats have massively improved. Got a high XG, got really a lot of big chances there, lots of shots in the box as well, and shots on target. So these are all the key numbers that you're looking for, and it suggests that Wilson could actually be at the start of a really good run. Although, having said that, He's already scored in every single game week this season. He's one of those players that I touted at the start of the season, and unfortunately I got rid of him after 2 weeks. So I do think there is a strong argument actually to bring Wilson in. Personally, it's not a move I'm making. I'd like to give Pukki this game against Aston Villa, but if you had someone else you were looking to shift on, then I think Wilson is a really good shout. Okay, so keep or sell De Bruyne. So for those that don't know, De Bruyne has come up with a knock. So we've got to keep a really close eye on Pep's pressers. So if you haven't made any transfers yet, I'd hold on to those transfers and make sure you have all the information you can possibly get before we go into the start of the game week. So I'll be keeping a close eye on Pep's presser. And for me, I think that I probably will keep him. The reasons are that you've got an international break next, so that gives us a little bit more time and De Bruyne a little bit more time to recover, so he should be back the following week. And obviously, if you do remove him now, you will lose value. I don't really like not transferring a player out because of the fear of losing value, but considering that you are probably likely to want him back the following week, I do think that in this occasion it is an important consideration. One person which I'm tempted by switching him to, however, is actually Riyad Mahrez. Now, this slightly depends on whether Bernardo Silva is ruled out for a few weeks. So Bernardo Silva obviously put out that tweet, so he potentially could be banned for a few matches. Now, I don't know at the time I'm recording, but we should potentially find out tomorrow. So if Bernardo Silva is banned for a few matches, then that means that Riyad Mahrez game time should be guaranteed. And actually I think that he is fairly nailed on in that side now. So or as nailed on as you can be in a Pep side. So I do think that there, for those wanting to take a bit of a punt and wanting to maybe take an advantage if KDB does miss this weekend, I think Mahrez could be an interesting option. And he's someone that I'm half thinking about. I've not made my mind up yet, and I would like to hang on to De Bruyne, but I might be tempted to take a risk on Mahrez and try and get some points out of him this weekend and over the next few weeks. I don't think he's a long-term option. I just think there's a little bit too much rotation there. But if you haven't got any other fires to put out, then I do think that Mahrez is a cheeky option which you could look at. Okay, next question then on Agero versus Abama. So looking at that, this is last 5 game weeks, I believe, and Agero is absolutely smashing Abama. There is really no contest in terms of the underlying numbers. That said, I do think Abama is a brilliant option. He's also got Bournemouth at home this game week, and I think that is one of the best fixtures you can have. Bournemouth, not known for their defensive attributes. He's also in fantastic form, and I do think that counts as something and he's been sticking away those chances, and Arsenal have a really, really nice run of fixtures, and he's most likely he's on penalties. I do think that he gave Pepe that one to get him off the mark, but I do think that he'll be on penalties. So Aubameyang's got a lot going for him, and I think that potentially this weekend, actually, Aubameyang is a better option. I just think that Agero might get his minutes managed because he played quite a lot during midweek. But on balance, if you ask me which one I prefer in my team over the long haul, it probably would be Agero. Having said that, you can only fit 3 City assets into your team. So if you've already got the likes of De Bruyne, Sterling, and maybe a City defender, likes of Otamendi, then Aubameyang could be a very, very nice option. So in summary, I'd lean towards Agero, but if you haven't got a free City slot, then Aubameyang, I think, is a brilliant shout. So I've seen a lot of people asking, is it time to sell Salah? And just going on to a comparison between Salah and Aubameyang over the last few matches. And again, there isn't really a reason to be looking at that shift. Having said that, Salah does have some bad upcoming fixtures, and he's actually not known for producing against the top teams. He doesn't tend to rack up that many goals. So I actually think there is, despite though that screenshot and despite the numbers, I think there is a strong case for shifting out Salah and going to Aubameyang, especially because you're not going to be captaining Salah. It's not a move that I'm going to make, but I do understand the rationale, and I think that it could well pay off for people. Moving on to my team then, and it was a bad game week last week. It's not going for me this season. Salah coming in there with no points. He really should have scored, as should have my transfer in Abraham. Just not quite clicking there. Both of them having lots of, Salah getting that one big chance, and Abraham, he could have scored a hatful. So a little bit unfortunate there with my transfer in and my captaincy, I feel. The rest of the team not really kicking into life, but I still think that the team is strong, and I'm still hopeful going forward. Okay, so this is how I'm lining up. I've still got 2 free transfers, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing this week. I'm considering Walker to Otamendi, because I think Otamendi is a more nailed-on, longer-term pick and slightly more of a goal threat, actually, and he's cheaper. So quite a few factors, even though that might seem like a little bit of a sideways move. I'm also considering De Bruyne to Mahrez, as I mentioned earlier. I haven't completely ruled that one out. Sterling is pretty much a lock for me as captaincy. I think there are a few other areas which I could potentially look at, but I'm fairly happy with my team. One thing to note is that I've heard a rumour that Cantwell could have actually picked up an injury in training. Hopefully we'll find out a little bit more on the pressers, so that's one to watch. If he is out, I'm not too concerned because I've got the Lord Lundstrom coming in as first bench, so hopefully that he can cover. But if De Bruyne and Cantwell are out, then I might need to address that situation, and that actually could force my hand into making the move from De Bruyne to Mahrez, because I don't really want Dunk coming off my bench. I don't think that Brighton are likely to get a clean sheet in that match. As I said, I'm leaning towards Sterling for captaincy. I think that he's a brilliant option. If he did have Aubameyang, then I would be very, very tempted by that, because I think that Bournemouth are there for the taking, and Aubameyang is in fantastic form. Also, Aguero's a great shout as always. I would be a little bit cautious considering he did start midweek and potentially Jesus could come in. Having said that, Pep does actually quite like Agero in the home fixtures, and he's very good at those home fixtures. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. But my preference is Sterling this week, and I really hope that he finally delivers for me on the captaincy, because I haven't had much luck with him to date. Okay, so I'm about to show you our crowdfunding video. I'm super, super excited about this. Please watch it all the way through, because we have put a lot of work into this, and I hope that as many of you can join Fantasy Football Hub as possible. I know there's been so much interest in it. So thank you everyone for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the crowdfunding video coming up. Premier League fantasy football is booming. Over the last 2 decades, it's gone from an obscure game played by tens of thousands to a global phenomenon enjoyed by millions. Recognising an ever-increasing demand for high-quality content, fantasyfootballhub.co.uk was created. The hub brings together some of the very best fantasy football players, bloggers, tool creators, podcasters, and content creators under one roof. We're a one-stop shop for all things fantasy football.
I don't have a whole lot of time to work on FPL as much as I'd love to, and so I find Fantasy Football Hub a great kind of one-stop shop just to get a lot of great tools with limited amount of time.
The guides, the content, and the administration part of it has been fantastic. Nothing too much trouble for the guys that run it, and the amount of content that is on there now is unbelievable compared to a year ago.
An affiliate contributor model sits behind the site that, to our knowledge, is unique. This acts as a growth and content creation mechanism rolled into one, and has enabled the site to generate a rich and diverse range of resources, expand our social media presence, and ultimately grow our member base. Members subscribe because of our range of statistical tools, player comparison tools, team reveals and top-ranked players, various members-only articles, team planners, community forums, and numerous guides, all designed to give fantasy managers an edge.
Membership levels currently include regular at £2.99 per month, premium at £7.99 per month, and premium and team review at £99.99 per year. Although our focus to date has been on our members area, with thousands of site hits each week from a demographic that's an ideal target for advertisers, generic site ads are an obvious future monetization strategy. In addition, affiliate partnering with the growing online football gambling and fantasy betting industries ensures that we have multiple future monetization streams.
There's so many things I didn't know about selecting a team, and I haven't seen this much information arranged like this in a concise manner anywhere.
There's an excellent range of fantasy managers providing all sorts of different context, from articles to videos to podcasts, and I've been really impressed with the quality and how easy it is to read. That's something I've enjoyed.
The money raised will be used to increase our site development, technology, as well as our marketing budget. With our contributor model, a great team, and our traction to date, we are well placed to become the #1 resource for fantasy football over the next few years. Ultimately, we feel this is a huge opportunity to capitalise on a booming sector. If you'd like to join us, do check out our pitch deck and business plan. Thank you very much for watching. So that's our crowdfunding video campaign. If you are interested, the campaign is now live. We've had so much interest in this, so if you are remotely interested, I would suggest you get involved quickly because I expect the shares to go soon. I'll put a link in the description, but otherwise I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like and please hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. Have a great weekend and hope those arrows are green. Bye for now.